Instagram Reels is such a powerful tool to be using for your business right now. If you want to see online business growth, if you want to grow your brand online, if you want to gain a following, build your audience, then Reels is really where it's at, especially when we talk about Instagram marketing. And so I really wanted to break down this video how you can use Instagram Reels to actually make money in your business, to grow your brand, and to grow your following online. Essentially, how to use Instagram Reels for business. And even if you're a content creator or something like that, or you feel like your business is still a side hobby, you are a business owner. And so I really want to share with you how to use Reels if you are a business owner and how I've strategically been able to do it to grow my brand and also make some more money in my bank account. I personally believe there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing a little bit of dancing and pointing in order to help you grow your brand through Reels. And spoiler alert, you don't have to actually dance or point in order to use this feature. So no matter where you're at in your journey with using Reels, I really want to encourage you with this video that if you have a small business, if you are a business owner, if you have an online brand, that Reels is super impactful and can be really impactful for you if you use it in the right way. And not only does it help you grow your follower count, but it also helps your audience to feel even more connected to you and to let your personality shine through because you're using video marketing. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. To share a little bit about my story and to put it into perspective, over the past about 3-ish months, I've gained over 5,500 followers using Instagram Reels. That is insane. That kind of growth is not happening anywhere else right now, especially when we talk about Instagram or social media in general. I mean, besides TikTok, but any other platforms, that really isn't happening. And so I really want to share with you how you're actually to be able to use Reels, really break down my approach on how I'm actually using it to make more money and just grow my online business in general. So the first thing is you need to approach it by thinking about your ideal client. And I know I talk about this a lot. If you're familiar with me, I talk about this all the time, but you absolutely have to keep this in mind. If you are putting out content, if you're putting out Reels, it has to relate back to your ideal client. It has to be targeted for a very specific audience in the way that you show up in the world and the way you help them. Because it's not going to do them any good if you are, let's say, a website designer and you're sharing videos on Instagram marketing. Unless you want to become an Instagram marketing strategist as well, that's not going to do you any good. What would do you a lot of good is if you shared videos on how to brand yourself, how to make a website, where you should host a website, like anything that's going to help anyone who wants help with a website. It's going to attract them to your Reels. Their Reels are more likely to pop up because you're being very targeted with your audience, and they're more likely to also turn into followers, which then turns into customers. And that's what I've seen happen with my own brand. I actually right now primarily serve other photographers and help them grow their businesses. And so a lot of my content is geared for photographers. And so when a photographer lands upon my video, because it's super targeted and the other content relates to that, relates to helping them grow their business, it makes sense for them to not only follow me, to invest in my business. And I've seen that happen when I did a shop sale shortly after hitting 10,000 followers, celebrating that milestone. I made over $5,500 that week using my organic audience. And so it was so cool to see how much that had grown as a direct result from Reels. So bottom line, just make sure the Reels that you're making really lines up with your specific ideal client. You want it to make sense that when they see that Reel and they hop over to your account and think about following you, that it would make sense for them to not only hit the follow button, but also to reach out to book you for your services or to buy your products or to invest in your education, right? Whatever it is, make sure it's very targeted for the kind of audience you want to build your following around. And another bonus tip I really just want to throw in here is make sure that the Reels give value to your ideal client, especially when we're talking about like using Reels for business and how we can use help to grow our actual business and put more dollars in our bank account. Make sure that the Reels are actually giving value, and it's another way that you're building your audience by giving away free content and for them to be attracted to your brand. All right, so now let's talk about making Reels that are like literally drive people right into your offer or your service. So this is something that I've been playing around with and making Reels where my maybe an online educational course or a product that I have or my service that I offer, like creating a Reel where it naturally leads them into wanting to buy that product. And so an example of this, and I know this isn't Reels, but it's over on TikTok, I saw this happen and it was so awesome. So I actually posted a TikTok where I was sharing behind the scenes, or not a behind the scenes, but more of a before and after of my presets. So an unedited preset picture and then an edited preset picture. And I was having like one pop up and then the next one pop up. And I did that a few different times. And then I told people in the description that if they wanted to download my exact presets, they could go to a link. And that video on TikTok ended up blowing up. I mean, in a small sense, but it got thousands of views. And what was cool is that week that it blew up, I ended up seeing an additional $500 in sales in my presets. And I don't think that's an accident. I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm pretty sure that a lot of those sales came directly from that TikTok. And yes, maybe a few of them were already, or sales that are probably already gonna happen through other sources, but I saw a huge surge that week because I posted a TikTok that was strategic, that was showing before and afters of my presets, and then inviting them to buy my presets in the comment section and the description. And so you can apply this exact same concept to Reels and create Reels where, you know, if it were to blow up, if it were to go viral, I posted that specific TikTok onto Reels. Right now, those two platforms work like almost exactly the same. And I posted over to Reels and I didn't see it blow up as much as it did on TikTok for one reason or another. But I really want you to think about when it comes to creating Reels and making it where you can actually gain more dollars in your bank account, think about how you can create content where after someone watches it and when they're done watching it, they naturally want to know, oh, like how can I go buy that preset? Or how can I work with you to fix this, right? Think about that, how someone could see a reel and then go and want to make a purchase from you or to book you, right? That's something that I've seen a huge impact for just in my business. And that was a really cool way, you know, that one reel or that one TikTok that I posted and seeing it kind of blow up and then seeing those extra sales and presets. And I think that's the first time that I really noticed. I mean, besides growing the followers and growing that audience, which then in turn like later down the road will buy from you, I think that's the first time that I really saw that when I apply this concept and if it does go viral, how it truly could be used to, you know, directly like drive sales to your business, which is just super cool. So no matter what kind of business owner you are, no matter what kind of content you make or what you sell, whether it's a product or a service, I truly believe you can apply this concept and probably see similar results. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to Reels and using it for business and how to actually make money, right? Because that's kind of the end goal of all of this, is make email list building a priority with your Reels, okay? So it doesn't do you any good to have Reels with a ton of likes, ton of comments, if those people are not then joining your email list. So this means you need to have some systems, strategies set in place. So when you get those eyeballs on your Reels or you start gaining those followers, you start turning, you know, not only people into followers, again, going back to having a very specific ideal client, so then those people want to follow you, but then turning those followers into people on your email list. Because once they're on your email list, you get like it's a more personal touch point, right? It's more intimate. It feels a little bit more like they're in your inner circle, right? You're not having to rely on an algorithm in order for them to see that content. And so I really encourage you to make sure that you make email list building a priority, whether it is making sure that the link in your bio goes to a button that they can click on to join your email list, right? Have a call to action that tells them, hey, like grab this free download or join this free class or something along those lines, constantly building your email list that way from the views you're already getting on your profile, whether it's a specific reel that, you know, it talks about, maybe it gives a tip for something and which naturally, again, kind of going back to having something that naturally leads into a paid offer, you can also use that same concept and have it naturally lead into a free offer as well. So whether it's join my free class, whether it's download this freebie, download this free guide, download this free template. I've done this. I did this with when I had a free class going on at webinar. I had a ton of reels where I was pointing people right back to that. I pointed people back to my Instagram Reels cover photo templates, which you can download in the description if you want to grab those. But this is a really cool way that I've been able to see, you know, not only translate these people into like followers of mine, into views, but also translating them into sales. Because, you know, statistically, for the number of people you have in your email list and you launch something or start selling to them, you can expect to see maybe 3 to 5% buy from you, right? And so the more people you have on your email list, the higher your sales statistically are going to be, as long as you're doing a good job, right? And so if we're making that a priority and making sure we're building our email list, we're gonna be able to take these views that are viewing our reels, then maybe turning into followers, and then put them on our email list, which is really one of the end goals before making a purchase, right? Because you have more of that personal connection with them through email. Another way that I have done this, especially as my audience has started to grow really, really rapidly, my audience has basically doubled in the past few months, which is just insane to think about. But especially as that has happened, one thing that I have been making a priority is making sure that I'm constantly email list building in my stories as well, because I have found a lot of my audience loves to view my stories, not just the posts that I'm posting, right? And so I'm making sure I'm sharing about free content they can download to get on my email list. I'm making sure I'm sharing about my free class that's going on, like whatever it is that I'm currently promoting. And if I'm not currently promoting something going on live, I'm making sure that I have some sort of freebie that I'm kind of mentioning in my stories, sharing about my stories on a consistent basis, probably at least once or twice a week, making sure I'm sharing that so that as those new followers kind of come in, I'm making sure that I'm translating those followers into people on my email list and that they're not just staying as followers. And I'm inviting them into that by consistently sharing about that on my Instagram stories, having that call to action in my bio, having the link in my bio, go to a freebie, all of those things coming together, making sure that I'm bringing people over to my email list. Another idea, if you're trying to figure out, like maybe you're like me and you've grown a big following on Instagram with Reels, and you're trying to figure out how to turn these people into buyers and customers. Again, going back to this email list building strategy, one thing you could do is host something like a free online class. You could host a free challenge. That was a really cool thing I saw recently for my business. I hosted a free class and I was already doing that to launch my new course with, but what I saw is I gained about 600 new subscribers to my email list by doing this class, because the majority of people who signed up for the class weren't already on my email list. Like, it was so cool. Like, I didn't even realize this until after I imported them into my email list afterward, right? That so many of them weren't already subscribed to me. And so it was a really big incentive and a really big give on my part for them to exchange their email for, where it felt like more of a no-brainer, right? Than maybe just like a free download. And so you could take this concept, you could do like a free class, you could do a free maybe 5-day challenge on something. That can be a really cool way to build your email list and to take these followers on Instagram and say, hey, like if you want to learn more from me, be sure to join this free class, which then also gets them on your email list because they're signing up, right? And one more thing I want to mention here when it comes to your email list, if you're still not convinced that you need to make it a big part of your strategy, think about this. If Instagram were to go away today, what would you have to connect with your audience? And for me, I know like if every social media platform is gone, I would still own my email list. Like I still own those subscribers. I have that subscriber list downloaded. It is mine. It is the people who have entrusted me with their email. And so I just want to encourage you, like if you are still on the fence whether or not you should really build your email list, one big reason I really encourage it for all business owners, no matter what kind of business that you do, is that it's something that you own. Nobody else owns it. And it's something that, there's no algorithm to figure out, if their email is actually gonna land in their inbox. Like, no, it's just when you send the email, it lands in their inbox. And so I really want to encourage you here, like it's something that you truly do own in your business. And so that's why I really encourage you to do that. Not only just statistically, especially when you move into like online courses or online education or products or something like that, email lists become even more valuable because of the aspect of, selling to them, and people are way more likely to check their email and buy something through email than probably through social media, at least in my experience. And it's so reassuring to know like you have a list that you are putting in time and effort into building that you truly do own, that nobody else owns, nobody can take it away from you, and that if everything else went down tomorrow, you could still talk to your people and you could still have access to chatting with them, telling them what's new with you, all of that fun stuff. If you loved this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe because I upload 2 new videos every week, Tuesday and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Stephanie. I am a photographer and an online educator from the Midwest in Ohio. And I would love just to have you around here and have you a part of the community here. So be sure to join us by subscribing, hitting that notification bell. And if you show up when I post new videos, which is why you want the notification bell on, if you show up, I will answer your comments live within the first 20 minutes when a video goes live. I make an intentional effort to show up for you guys during that time frame. So right when I post a new video, I'm making sure I'm answering comments right when you post them within the first 20 minutes. So it's just a really cool way for us to chat and to connect with each other. And I would love to have you following along. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to I cannot talk. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.